All right. What's going on, everybody? ODC here. Back with another live review. Thought this was the best way to handle this. Still getting a little set up here, but I figured, we'll just keep it very relaxed today as I'm still kind of jiggling my camera here. Actually, I better leave it a little bit up higher so I can pick the vamp up and show everything to you. All right, so I'll wait for some people to trickle in, and then we'll get started. So no rush. It's going to take about an hour to talk about everything, so we'll indulge a little bit. We'll get some people out of the background here. Some people in the background, some people out of the background. We'll have a gay old time. If anybody remembers that. No? Flintstones? Anybody? No? Hello? Anyway. Alright, let's fix... There we go. That's a little bit better. Is it too bright? Let me know in the comments if it's too bright for anybody. Should be alright, though. Should be alright. Alright. I'm just trying to make some room before I get this started. Like I said, I'm also trying to let people kind of trickle in because it is a live review. And I want people to be able to see it. I know I'm not the first reviewer, clearly, to do this video. Let's get his helmet off. We'll put it over there. Why not? There we go. All right. Okie doke. There we go. I think I'm like one of the mid-level tier reviewers to get it. I know there's a shit ton of reviews all flooded in like the last day or two. So my goal is never to be, I guess it would be great if I could get this stuff earlier, but I'm just a normal dude. Been doing this for 12 years now. Normal dude gets this stuff as it comes to me. So I don't have connections. I don't know people. I just get it as it comes. So, but you guys, all my subscribers are usually pretty patient. You guys are pretty patient and willing to still watch my video, which I do appreciate very much. So, thank you very much. And thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate that too. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell I did with the... Oh, those are downstairs, I think. That's okay. I wanted to give him a different shotgun just because I'm not a fan of this shotgun too much, just because it is a little bit too gummy for... And I'm not trying to, jump on the bandwagon with the gummy complaints with a lot of G.I. Joe collectors seem to complain about that. I think it's worse in other cases and not as bad as in others. Or worse in some cases, not as bad as others, is what I meant to say. This is a nice M4 rendition. I like the sculpt. I like the detail. I like the paint. What I don't like is just the bendiness of this. I mean, you really can't have him two-hand this because what ends up happening is, we all know, I'll make a long story longer. Apparently, that's what I'm going to do anyway. When you have a softer plastic in a harder plastic's hands, it's going to kind of bend at the will towards the harder plastic. So this thing, when you two-hand it, it wants to just do this in his hand, which is quite annoying. And like I said, the sculpt is really nice and all that. That's fantastic, but I want to be using a Valiverse. And to me, I don't even think Clutch should be using a shotgun. I would have given him an SMG of some sort. Maybe an SMG you can um, one hand as a main go-to because he's going to be firing from the truck or from the vehicle for the most part, or coming out of a vehicle. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving him a shotgun, which I was actually going to give him another shotgun, which is from Valiverse. They have some really good shotguns that just came out. I want to say back in, what was it, August of last year? I think it was like the Foxtrot set, or I can't remember offhand. But anyway, I digress. Maybe when we get to that point when we're talking about accessories, I just kind of wanted to give a little anecdotal comment before I get this going. But anyway, I think this is a really nice little package we've got here with Clutch and the Vamp. It's really nice. I was going to do like an unboxing. I kind of changed my mind and I was like, I'll just shoot the review because unboxing videos, while they're great and all, I want to get to the meat and potatoes and really kind of talk about everything here that's involving the Vamp and everything. And I ended up getting two. I bought two. I pre-ordered them way when the pre-order first started, before even knowing that it was going to be an exclusive. Now, it did say exclusive when you did pre-order it, but I guess I wasn't paying attention and didn't realize it. And I was like, well, thank God I pre-ordered two because I did want two of them. It was $200, which that you can't get around. Can't get around that price. Which it's not the worst. Like I said, a lot of people have a. I guess it's a point of contention for them is the price of the set is $100 for the set, for each set. I mean, they're definitely, now that they have this tooled and raring to go, they did it yet again, like they did with the Trouble Bubble. They gave you the regular version as an exclusive, which I don't like, and I guarantee they're gonna make like the Stinger, or they're gonna make like the Tiger Force version of this, whatever they do for Target, and they're gonna probably make it a retail. Now, are they going to charge $100 still? Will they drop the price like they did with the Trouble Bubble if it goes to Target for retail price? Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do. I think that would kind of piss off a lot of people. People are already kind of peeved about the Trouble Bubble being more expensive on the original looking one from the Hasbro or HasLab. Oh my God, I can't even talk right today. From the Hasbro Pulse exclusive version, which was the regular version. I think it was like $10 cheaper. Anyway, it was a much decreased price from the original that was the Hasbro Pulse exclusive one, which was the regular version one. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. My point is, I don't have too much of an issue with the price. If I had an issue, I wouldn't have bought it. There are some nitpicky things that I have seen from other toy reviewers where I'm like, my guy, this is a toy at the end of the day. Some of these people are like, either they're bitching about the price or they're bitching about like little idiosyncrasy things that probably don't really mean that much at the end of the day. And they're kind of making them into big deals, and I just don't think that they're that big of a deal. But we'll get to that anyway. I'm just babbling, and I'm just going to shut up, and I'm going to start talking about the actual toy here. Clutch, like I said, I'm going to hold him up close as I can get. I am on a little further back than normal. I know I look close to the camera, but I'm not. And my lighting is close, so I have to kind of hold it to a certain level. Anyway. Clutch is really good. He is reusing some parts. I believe the legs are reused, but I believe the upper torso is not. Don't quote me on that. Maybe take that with a grain of salt. This belt, while I don't think I've ever seen it before, could be reused, but I think that's a new sculpt. I don't think I've seen this with the different magazine pouches in the back for his sidearm right here, and then the buckles in the front. The leg holster, harness, whatever you want to call it, the leg holster, that's an all new sculpt. We'll get to that. The tack vest, all new sculpt. And I believe the upper torso and obviously the head is an all new sculpt. Like I said, the legs, I'm pretty sure these are reused. So it's not a bad thing. I'm just pointing it out. So there's that. Let's see. Hashtag vamp spam. Outback arms. Yep, there we go. I knew it. I figured that, but thank you for confirming, Jeff. I appreciate that, buddy. Um, and if anybody does have a correction, don't hesitate to please correct me. I won't take it as an offense to it or anything like that. I don't mind being corrected. That's perfectly fine. He's got a little American flag on his right arm. He does have some nice tattoos on his arm, which I believe that is a woman, a buxom woman with I believe, are those two pistons? That's pretty cool. And then we've got kind of like a raceway flags right here. And then I can't tell what that is. Something like flaming something. I can't see from this angle. I don't have the best eyes either. It looks like some sort of flaming situation, but it looks like a pair of raceway flags, and then I'm not sure what that last part is. It looks like a flaming something. I don't know. But pretty cool. I like the tattoos. It's pretty cool that we are getting characters with all different style tattoos and stuff like that, kind of fit the character as well. I've always liked Clutch. I always thought he was a pretty cool setup as far as having a vehicle specialist, vehicle driver, mechanic, also elite soldier. I thought that was pretty cool. Able to drive anything, so that's pretty awesome. As far as the accessories do go, he does come with a sidearm. And there is his sidearm. Looks like almost like one of those competition pistols. You kind of pick your poison. It looks like a striker fire, like competition pistol almost, even from the little bump out handle on the bottom. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It has a little like engraved star in the handle, which is pretty nice. Let me move my camera up just a hair. See if I can do that even. Just so the lighting is a little bit better. Everybody can see. There you go. So there's that. Pretty nice. He does come with a red wrench, which does fit right into the holster. If I can get that red wrench out. Come on, buddy. Very nice looking wrench. It is red with gray paint. So that's pretty nice. And then we have the harness, which does have I believe that is a flashlight, a multi-tool, a pouch for something else, and then we have oh no, this would not be a flashlight. Maybe it's like a pen. Maybe that's a pen. I don't know. It could be. Pen, multi-tool, pouch, flashlight, which is painted oddly like puke brown. I don't know what I'm even going with that. But not too bad. I like that. It really does kind of stand apart from the rest of, the Joes. He's the only one that really has this so far, or is using something like this little harness. I think it's pretty cool. Something he can just, grab, even if he's sitting down in the vamp. He can just grab this and use it if he needs to. So cool little EDC setup right there. I like that. Cool. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got the regular helmet, which I believe this is reused from Roadblock, the heavy artillery Roadblock. It is a little bit looser on his head. Not too loose though. I mean, if you give him the shake test, it probably will fall off his head. Maybe not. It's going to prove me wrong right now. But it does feel a little loose, like it does jiggle and move around a little bit. It's not too bad though. I've definitely had worse helmets, but I think this is more set up for Roadblock's head as opposed to Clutch's head. So there's that. But it does stay on his head, and you saw it, live. So next up, we've got the what I believe is supposed to be an M4 Benelli, which is one of the best shotguns you could probably buy. So I'm not going to really fault them for that. I just, the plastic rigidity needs to be upgraded a little bit. It's a bit too flexible for at least the rifles. I don't have too much of an issue with the sidearms. It's the rifles and the shotguns and such. So next up, we've got I guess you can call this not Steel Brigade, Steel Core helmet. But it looks pretty good. It is unique to him, and it also just fits over his head as opposed to popping the head off and then having to put a separate head on. So I like that quite a bit, actually. I kind of hope that they continue to do that unless it's a specific Steel Core member in the future. So, be pretty cool. I like it quite a bit. I'm hoping that in the future, speaking of Steel Core, that we do get some older Steel Core members, like, what was that 4-pack? I think it was like a DTC, like, multi-pack with Steel Brigade against the Plague, I believe it was, where you had like Checkpoint and there was a couple other Steel Brigaders that were specific characters. That would be, I feel like, easy re-release, easy reuse for G.I. Joe, for the Classifieds line, for Hasbro. And it kind of pumps out some characters that were, kind of used once, and that's about it. I believe they are in the comics too. Checkpoint and all of those guys. So I believe one was like a Grenader. I actually made custom Marauders figures of them. I don't know if you can go back in the vault and check, but I'm pretty sure I did, and it should be on the channel of all three of those guys. So one was like a rocket launcher specialist, and another one was like a heavy weapon specialist, and another one was like a point man. It's pretty cool though, nonetheless. Regardless, pretty cool though. Fits over his head, and it is a really nice tight fit. So there's that. I like that quite a bit. I like the little kind of like old school 1940s World War II-esque kind of dogfighting grills that we've got there. I like that quite a bit. Teeth. Gives a little bit more of a character tinge to him as far as the figure goes, because he will stand out from the other like just regular Steel Core members. So pretty cool though. I like this. I actually like this more than I like the regular helmet. Some people might prefer this. I kind of prefer this though, even if he's driving. I mean, he doesn't have any doors to kind of protect him. He doesn't have anything over the top to protect him, but he does have a helmet, which actually looks like it has some sort of like targeting display on it, which is really nice, and it's sculpted into the helmet. So that's pretty nice. I might go ahead and take a paintbrush to some of these details not being pulled out here, and like the antenna, a couple other things like the rebreather right here. These little like rivets and such, I might just go ahead and paint those up silver and black and kind of pull some more of that detail out. But it looks good. Even if you just don't want to customize anything, you don't want to paint anything up, you don't have to. It's just an optional thing that I'm going to do. Unfortunately, on the body, they did make him a lefty again. They gave us the damn pistol lateral hinge joints on the left side only, and he's got he's got verticals on the left side, laterals on the right side. So he does not have pistol grips on the, well, he does have pistol grips, but he doesn't have pistol, I guess, adjusting hands. He doesn't have verticals on both, which kind of sucks. I kind of wish that he did. But he would be firing from the left if he's sitting in the driver's seat, and he would be because he's clutch. So he would have one hand on the steering wheel like this and be firing off like that if that were the case. So it does make sense, but still, it'd be nice to have both have that hinge joint or just give him an extra hand or two to do that. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with giving a couple extra hands, you know. But that is pretty much Clutch right there. Do you guys have any questions about Clutch? Anything that maybe I have not shown? Mr. Dog, what's going on? Hello, Kiwi, G.I. Joe Customs and Collection. How you doing? Hello. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. That's a very nice comment. Thank you. Nothing up, Mr. Dog. Just enjoying this set. A lot of people are kind of nitpicking this set to death, and I just don't really understand why. There's a lot of technicality reviewers out there that are really just trying to nitpick the shit out of this thing, either whether it's price or whatever. But this is a very nice set. So we can actually, you know what? I'll go through articulation and everything. I'll gear him all up so you guys can see what he looks like all geared up and everything, and then we'll get on to the actual vamp. I'm considering tearing everything down and putting it back together so you know how to do it, but it does come with instructions, so I feel like that's almost a moot point. But anyway, articulation with clutch, head can swivel at a full 360 rotation right there. The arms can go, wait, I'm skipping the whole head part. What are you doing, Anthony? Head can pivot side to side. Sorry about that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So nice pivot there. He can look up about that far. He can look down about that far, and that's maxed out. And he does have some jive turkeys. So there's some jive turkeys for you. Arms go up, T-pose. Nicely done. A little bit stiff on this side, so I'm going to try and take it easy and just work that in. It is a brand new figure. So you can T-pose nicely. It actually goes higher than the normal T-pose. This would be like neutral for most action figures, but he goes a little bit higher. So very nicely done. I know a lot of people cry a river and never build a bridge to get over it, but we've got these. Oh my God, exposed joints. Oh my God, you can see that. Oh my God, it's so ugly. Oh my God. Anyway, it's not that bad. Let's calm down, people. These being exposed is not that big of a deal. We saw it with low light and people cried a river about it, and oh my God. Anyway, let's move on to the really nice. Oh yeah, he's doing some shrugs today. Really nice, what you call it, butterfly joints. My God, I can't think of anything. Butterfly joints. So they are very nice, very fluid. They give a really good range of motion too. So if you really want to get him, let me just work that arm because it's being a little bit stubborn. If you really want to get him kind of almost two-handing a pistol, you can almost get him there. And that's pretty impressive with a tack vest on. So a separate piece of plastic on there. I really like that. Anyway, the biceps do swivel. The elbows do bend. Both of them. Both points. Double joints. And then we have a swivel at the wrist. We do have the vertical hinge joint on the left side. We do have the lateral hinge joint on the right side. We do have an ab crunch in there. It does kind of work a little bit, but that's just due to the vest. We all know this. This is nothing new at this point. No big deal. He can crunch further back than forward, but he still can crunch forward. So when you get him in a seated pose, he sits very well. Trust me. He does swivel at the waist, and he does have drop downs, which still not a big fan of the drop down hips with Hasbro, but they're trying. I'll give them an A for effort. And then we do have, his leg can go forward, leg can go back. We do have the upper thigh swivel. We do have a double jointed knee, and that's maxed out right there. And then we do have the pointy toey, pointy heely, ankle pivot, boot swivel, 2 peg holes, and a partridge in a pear tree. So that's what you've got with all of that. Let's get him all geared up. I mean, he can pose nicely. Like I said, I think whoever designed this did a really good job with Clutch. I really do quite like how they built him. I like the reuse. Let's just get him kind of like hand-to-hand combat situationed here. And I think, for the most part, whoever is making the decisions for the figures is doing a pretty damn good job. So I really do like this Clutch. It's very nice. And it's nice that you can load him out any way you want. So you don't have to be particular. You can have him with a regular helmet if you want to go for that more classic look, if that's your thing. You can put the pistol right there. You can put the wrench right there. And it doesn't really impede or get in his way, the wrench being holstered or anything like that. Kind of do have to make him a lefty. That's why I was saying give him a submachine gun, because if you're going to be firing at a rapid pace and you don't want to fire a pistol outside the vehicle, don't give him a shotgun, because he's going to have to manually cock that shotgun to fire it again. You can't really go from a seated position in a vehicle and fire off a round and then have to pull it back in the vehicle while you're trying to drive, cock it again, and then take it out of the vehicle again. It's just so much work. It doesn't even make logical sense. But I think this is more so like if he's out of the vehicle, he's got something to larger to defend himself that can cause a lot of damage. So maybe he's got some slugs in there. Maybe he's got some buckshot. We don't know. But it'll work, right? But I do like this sculpt. Like I said, I'll just reiterate that. Nicely done. But I still like this helmet better. I just think it works better. And let's get this kind of situated. And then I could show you kind of how bendy it is. You can work with it to get it kind of straight, but you want to have this, especially if he's, we're still not there quite yet with action figures where we can get the stock into the shoulder the way it's supposed to, but we can get it close enough where we can just use our imagination still. But as you can see, I mean, it's bending. And it doesn't take much, really. So you kind of almost have to like line this up with that hand, because the fingers are so stiff, and it's like it doesn't matter if you try to reform the shoddy either. It's just going to keep wanting to go back to being bent, because the hands and the arms are so much stronger than the gun itself. It's almost doing like an S, you see the curve right there. So I'm just going to use either a submachine gun, or I'll give him a Valaverse shoddy. So we can go with that. I almost want to give him an AA-12 for when he's got to deal some damage, because that's an automatic shotgun, and that can deal a lot of damage very quickly. And just kind of wish I had somewhere to put it, like a bracket or something. That would be cool if we could have like a, I don't know, like a storage case for the back window. We'll get to that in a second, but there is a little storage in the back window. So that's Clutch. We'll move him over to the side for now. Spend about 20, 30 minutes on that, which works out perfectly. Now, the Vamp. The Vamp, this is a very nice vehicle. I think they did a lot of really cool things that maybe a lot of people, with a lot of people, goes unnoticed. Some things that I think objectively I would do differently, which is perfectly fine, and it's perfectly fine if other people out there want to do things differently. Totally get that. It's all personal preference. This is all, to a lot of people, very subjective as far as how they prefer things. Like, I prefer Vamp version 2. That's my preference. I'm getting a Vanguard. Therefore, that'll be my Vamp version 2. Vamp version 1, didn't really have a Vamp version 1 growing up. I'm going to be honest with you. My parents never found me one, got me one, whatever the case may be. But never had one growing up. I didn't get one until I was a bit older to be and able to afford one myself. All the features on here that are separated from the vehicle or can be separated from the vehicle are as follow. This little piece right here, I'm trying to get it off, but it is kind of stuck on there. Let me get Chun-Li out of the way here. This little piece right here, which I believe is a part of the hood. There's that little piece right there. And then we have this piece right here, which is I believe this is like a storage case. They do have specific peg holes on the inside, so they can only fit on the vehicle one certain way. Next up, we have the trench tool or shovel, and it is on there. So that's pretty nice. It's a little separate piece. And I believe the 25th anniversary / 50th anniversary and so on vehicles did have a removable trench tool as well. We do have a workable winch, which is really cool. You just kind of pull that out, and it goes out pretty far, pretty decently far. I can't really even display how far that goes because I have no room. But let me try and back this up so you guys can see. But it does go out quite a bit. Let me get some figures out of the way. I apologize for not having the figures out of the way to begin with. Back this up a little bit more. And like I said, it does go out pretty far. There you go. And for reference, there's a figure. That's how long it can go. There you go with that. That's a removable piece. And then if you want to simply wind it back up, all you have to do is come over here, and there's a little piece right here, little winding feature. Just kind of crank it until it's all wound up like so. And you can get the winch all the way in there. So very easy, manual. You have to do that manually. The next feature on the vehicle is the open engine compartment, which is really cool. You can see the engine inside. That is a huge engine. Now, the original Vamp is actually based on a military vehicle that was created. I think it was like called the Scorpion or something like that. I might be wrong with the name. I'm trying to think offhand, but it did fail military trials, so they didn't end up going forth with it. But anyway, I digress. That's what this is here for, as far as the nice little detail for the motor. I'm trying to figure out. So there's no supercharger on that, so it's naturally aspirated, which is pretty cool. But that's a nice little touch, is the engine compartment. And you do get a nice, really tight shut. So you hear that click, you know it's shut. The headlights don't light up or anything like that, but I like the fact that they did a kind of a reflective silver piece underneath with the plastic covering over top, which is really nice. And then I love the fact that we've got these like blue, it's like blue plastic, but it's supposed to be like blue, like hella bulbs for the front, I guess, fog lights and such, and top fog lights, which is really cool. These little plastic pieces right here, they do jiggle, but they don't really, they are separate plastic that's clipped on here, which is, it's a nice little touch. We do have some little like unpainted chains here, which I might go back and paint some little details here and there it might make a little bit of a difference right there. So that's pretty nice. Next up, the tires. It doesn't really say what tires go where or anything like that, which is perfectly fine. It does have a suspension feel to it, so the wheels can move up and down. The wheels on the bus go up and down, round and round. You know how that story goes. It can roll. It does have rubber tires as well, which is pretty nice. I do like that as well. So good job on that. And I don't think it really matters where you put the tires. I think it's irrelevant. Next feature that we have here is the front windshield. It can actually go down. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay down. There's no clip-in feature or anything like that. It just kind of sits. So sometimes it does want to do this. Sometimes. But it does stay into place. It does stay up top if you wanted to. It kind of pegs in right there. So there's that. Next up, we've got the back portion of the vehicle. And we've got some removable things over here. We've got this removable axe, which it also comes with. So in case emergency, you do have an axe. And then you have your extra fuel canisters. And they do have a Danger Fuel logo on there. And then we have canister 1 and 2 as far as those little insignias as well. Nothing on the other side, but those are the 2 canisters. I'm going to remove this really quick just to show the next little piece that is removable as well, which is the fire extinguisher, which does clip right in here. So there's the fire extinguisher right there, man. That's pretty cool. I like that. Very nicely done. And then I'll put this one back. This one was a little finicky. It doesn't like to, you got to get it right on that other piece of plastic that's kind of raised right there for the clip. Next up, we've got the oh shit handles. That's pretty cool that they decided to make these separate and adjustable. So you can have them facing in like that. You can have them facing down any way you want. Any way you want. So that's pretty cool. I think what makes the most sense is them facing in, so you don't bash your head when you're trying to go into the vamp, I guess, and then you can still hold on. I mean, we have a lot of old shit handles that hang from here. You can have them hang anywhere you want. So next thing I thought that was really cool that a lot of people, I don't think really did point this out, is the rear view mirrors are actually reflective. And that actually is really well done. Look at that. Can we see my face? But it's pretty good, man. It really does look like an actual mirror. They did a really good job on that. I was really pleasantly surprised with that. I thought it was going to be like those kind of cloudy, kind of reflective, like details that they usually put on a vehicle. But they didn't. They actually gave like a very good looking mirror right there. And it is an actual reflective mirror, which is pretty cool. They did a good job. They really did. And then we've got all these details on the inside. Now, this might be the point of the review where I have to lift the camera up so you guys can see this stuff, or else you won't be able to see it at all. So I'm going to, hopefully not too annoyingly, remove the camera and just kind of hold it here, and then we'll talk. There's the interior. We've got the gear shifter in the center right there. And the gear selector is pretty cool. I don't think that goes up and down. It looks like it wants to, but the steering wheel does steer. We do have some gauges in there for the RPMs and whatnot. So pretty cool. Good job. What's up, Terry? How you doing, buddy? But very well done. Very pleased overall. And now we'll go back to the tripod. All right. Now let's get to the hot topic Saw this on a Facebook page comment, and then I saw this in a couple reviews that people really were just not happy with these 50 cals. And then in the instructions, it actually tells you to put these canisters, the ammo canisters, on the ground right here. I'm like, there's a holster for them right here. I don't know why the instructions tell you to put them on the ground. That would be incorrect. You want to put them up here so they're fed in a certain way. So I still don't know why they didn't just have a peg hole on the bottom and put a peg right there, and then you could just peg these in so they sit more natural. But, it's not the end of the world for me. They look a little funny just sitting there like that. I might end up just gluing these in, to be honest with you. But that was just one of the points that people really got upset about. The other major point was the handles and the fact that clearly this mold was not made for the Vamp. And we all know that because we all know the original Vamp. The read-up says these are automatic, engaging machine guns on the back of the Vamp. If you've owned a Vamp, you've read the read-up, then you would know that. I don't have a problem with them reusing this with 250 cals. I don't think that's a big deal to me. I certainly don't think it's another big deal that they have handles on the back. I mean, at some point, guys, you've got to start using your imaginations. I know a lot of these complaints are coming from people that are either older than me or the same age as me. And I'm like, guys, come on. Maybe it's just been too long since you've used your imagination. I don't know. But let's try and use it a little bit more here, okay? I've even had some people complain that there's not an automatic cable attaching to the Gatling gun from because you apparently you need everything drawn out where this is sitting here, and you can't figure out where these go, and then you need some sort of cable that connects to the vehicle to display that it's an automatic gun. Where I'm like, come on, man! Like, there's tons of different ideas. Use your imagination. Like, oh, maybe they fed the wiring through the bottom of the base here into these servos over here, which then fire the. I'm just like, come on, man! Like, it's not that hard to think of this stuff. Like, you don't need everything shown to you to figure that out. I just don't understand it. The constant annoying nitpicky things that people do all the time. Anyway, I digress. I can go on a rant of annoying nitpicky things that people do all day, but I'll just stick with this. They are removable. You can use these. Now, like I said, these were probably already sculpted for Roadblock, and they just were like, you know what, let's just reuse them. We can just put them in here. It just makes sense. Price-wise, it makes sense. Logistics makes sense. That's perfectly fine. You can put this in here, and it's really... Is it hurting anyone that it's reused or removable, or that there's handles on the back here and no peg for someone to stand? No, because these are automatic. That's why. So I don't know why people just need things like they need things like fed to them like a baby, but it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, I digress. And like I said, it's not that big of a deal. I get people get nitpicky about stuff. It's not the end of the world. I'm just kind of pointing it out because I saw it in almost every review that I saw for the last 2 days, and that kind of gets a little repetitive and monotonous when I'm seeing that over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, just give it a rest at this point. Clearly, you've seen the other reviews that complain about the same thing and just wanted to note it. We got it. You don't have to do it again. Anyway. So there's that. I don't need a person to stand on the back of this. These are automatic. They can just be automatic. That was the original design that was intended. Yes, there's some reuse here. This is also a 112 scale vehicle, so not a big deal. It's going to be things are going to be reused and repurposed on a larger scaled vehicle as opposed to a 3 3/4 inch vehicle or 4 inch vehicle, which is a little bit easier to, newly tool stuff. It's going to cost a lot less. So, does the hood open? Yes, it absolutely does, Terry. And I will open that for you. There is the sculpted engine. Looks really good. Almost looks like a friggin' V12 in there, which is silly awesome. Silly awesome. And then when you do close it, like I said, just want to make sure you hear that click so you know it's closed. Just say caution over here. We've got United States right there with the G.I. Joe logo. We've got caution over here. We've got the med aid kit. We've got some numbers right here. Some warning saying to unlatch and instructions and such. We've got the U.S. flag right there on the side. It says United States, which is pretty cool. Which is actually surprising. I'm surprised they actually put United States on this because lately G.I. Joe has been very gung-ho about, no pun intended there, very gung-ho about making G.I. Joe not about being in the United States anymore. So I'm just pointing it out. I think the original one was designed after the Lamborghini Jeep. Yeah, I think it was called, I was talking about that a little bit earlier, Terry. I think that was called, wasn't it called like the Scorpion or something like that? It went through military trials but failed, I think. International Hero. Yeah. International Hero just doesn't have the ring to it that, the original does. The new Joe Trooper comes with that. And soon to be Tiger Force Roadblock. Yes, correct. Yep, the 60th anniversary. Yep, the cheetah. There we go. Thank you, Chad. Thank you for the correction. I appreciate that, buddy. I thought it was some sort of. I knew it was some sort of like fast. Well, I guess a scorpion's not really that fast, but I don't know why I thought scorpion. I knew it was something like around that term, but. And I actually read the article a few days ago about the cheetah, the actual vehicle, which was pretty cool. It would have been cool if it passed the trials, but it did not, unfortunately. So fitting him in here, it's pretty simple, straightforward. Just kind of want to just move the arms. Let's move those legs, and just kind of feed him in there. And he does want to go in there. He does. I promise. And he sits in there nicely. And you can have the helmet off, helmet on, whatever you want to do. Let's take the helmet off so you can see how he actually sits in there. And his head does clear the top, which is nice. And we can get his hand on the steering wheel. Let me just kind of work that in. I am reaching far away, kind of. There we go. There's one. And I might have to move this windshield down to get my hand in here. Do. Come on, get your little hand on there, buddy. Let's get those off. There we go. It does help if you stretch the hand out a little bit. Pop that, and then pop these back on. And there we go. Beautiful. And he's in there. You can seat him down a little bit further. No problem. He is in there, as you can see. Didn't take me too long to do. Let's move the oh shit handle out of the way. There we go. He's in there. We can fit a friend in there. You can go for a nice day in the by the beach in this thing. How's that? You You could do that. Let's get, you know what? We got Grunt right here. We'll take Grunt and we'll put him next to him. All right, let's get you going, Grunt. Let's get you going, buddy. Ooh, his knees. His knees are still so tight on Grunt. All right, we'll get a friend in there. They can hang out. Part of the OG 13 anyway. There we go. Might have to work the pouch. If they have like a pouch on the side, might have to work it in a little bit, but you can see. There we go. Arms down and everything. See if we can fit a rifle. Not that you would want to do this, but we're playing little kid make believe here. All right, we'll just leave the rifle out. But there you go. It would have been cool. Now, this is one thing that I think is constructive criticism. Is it would have been cool if we had a couple like little peg points right here where you could put a rifle right here or whatever you wanted to do. Like I said, back window, maybe repurpose the fire extinguisher somewhere else. And then you could have a kind of a, blue collar, rifle rack in the back window. But that would have been pretty cool too. But you could see there's two figures in there. They fit nice and snug. Let me adjust my camera so I can get up higher here. Whee! There we go. There we go. We've got two people in there. Will the weapon fit in the engine bay? Closed. I can try. I'm going to say no on that one. Yeah, no. It doesn't want to shut. You can see the butt of the... So, no on that one. No on that one. It's a two-seater. It's kind of, I guess you kind of have to... I guess we're going to have to use our imaginations for that one too, And another cool thing I forgot to point out, how much I liked how they did the headlights. I loved how they did the taillights too, which is the same exact way, except they used like a red plastic underneath and then encased a piece of clear plastic on top and then kind of painted it black throughout the little grates, which is pretty cool, man. That's really awesome. But yeah, I think it would have been pretty cool if we had like something here where we could have a firearm being held right here, or like I said, in the back or something like that. That would be pretty cool. But overall, pretty pleased with this. Like I said, I definitely don't think some of the gripes that people had are that warranted. Price is subjective, I guess. It all depends on what your budget is. I don't know. To me, I think $25 for the figure. You are getting extra accessories, I would say. Well, I mean, Clutch doesn't come with too much. He just comes with what a normal figure, I think, would come with as far as that's concerned. But you are getting a large vehicle. And just to scale it, we can scale that right now. Let's just put this sideways here. Here is Indiana Jones. He runs a little bit smaller. Here's Sergeant Airborne again in 3 3/4 inch. Here's a friggin' California Raisin. I couldn't think of the word. Here's a Vintage Joe. We'll just get gung ho out here. There you go. Vintage Joe. Vintage Joe out of there. We'll get you out of there. And you can go over there, sir. And you can go back to where you were. Obligatory Duke. And then we'll get, actually, you know what? Let me get Clutch out of here so I can compare him to some of the other Joes and such. Let me just move that. There we go. All right, so here we go. They most likely going to re-release it in Mark II colors, Tiger Force, and Stinger color. Yep, I'm probably going to pass on the. I don't mind a different Mark II color. I'm probably going to pass on the Tiger Force one, which is probably going to happen. I'm probably going to pass on the Stinger. I was never a big fan of the Stinger. I know that's probably blasphemous to a lot of GI Joe collectors' ears, but I just never thought the fact. I was like, why would Cobra want to use what the Joes use? They are more ahead of the game than the Joes and have the numbers, and the Joes are a little bit, dealing with what the United States military would be offering them at the time. So something like this would have been like a big ticket item. I'm not sure why Cobra would want that and want to use it. It just didn't make any sense to me. It made more sense that the Joes would want to adopt or steal Cobra technology and use that as opposed or Mars Industries technology and use that for themselves so they can stay at par with what Cobra is offering. Um, but it's not always about the tool, it's about the user. And if the user is an elite soldier, using that tool can be used a lot more proficiently. So um, that's why I always thought the other way. So, um, but yeah, there is Clutch with obligatory Duke. He's a little bit taller, just a hair taller. Um, when you're low on money, you steal your enemy's stuff. That's right. I mean, you got to, hey, you run out of ammo with your rifle and there's no more 5.56 laying around. You've got to grab a AK and start using some 7.62 stuff. So you gotta deal with what you've got. That's all you can do. So, but there's Clutch with that. Let's get Chun-Li out here. Chun-Li, we'll bring in a turtle. There's a turtle for you. Remember, Cobra had budget issues. Yeah, budget issues. They had so many rich people on the Cobra side. I felt bad for the Joes, kind of. And then over here we've got that, and I'll bring in a new guy that I actually just finished his review last night. Should be up in a couple days, and he's really cool. It's the So I figure I put one Jada Toys figure in there. Let's put another one that I just picked up, which is really nice, man. Here's the Jada Toys Mega Man. Really awesome figure. You guys are gonna. Hopefully you guys like that review. Next up, we'll get in some. We'll bring in a Valaverse figure or two, or actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll bring in. Okay, we'll bring in him. Get him out of here, and him out of here, and we'll bring Desert Condor in here. I love that figure. Awesome figure. And then little. This is technically a Valaverse body. It's just got some gridiron stuff on it. It's the Halo jumper set. Let me get his legs all straight so you guys can really see what the hell I'm talking about here. There you go. Doodle-doodle-doo. Next up, we'll do. Oh my God. We still have puppies here. Well, we're keeping one puppy, but still got puppies. We'll bring in Ayo Chico. There you go, Chico. And we'll bring in I'm the Boogeyman. I'm gonna get ya. There you go, Boogeyman. Boogie, boogie, boogie. I still have to put him in my Ruthless Aggression display. I gotta put Razor in my other display. My God, that Frank is such a whiny little bitch. Anyway, there you go. There's an Articulating Icons Ananja. And then we'll bring in a Lightning Collection figure. Oh, got a little dog hair on it. Can't help it. I love my dogs. There we go. This one's for my dogs. Woof, woof. Next up. Yes, I'm laughing at my own jokes. I can't help it. We'll do 2 Marvel Legends. Uh-oh. Bring an Ultimate Cap. I love that figure. And then we'll bring, why not? Because I had him in a review last night. We'll bring in Bucky Kappa. So there you go. With those back. And why not? We'll just be silly. Give you a clue to what the maybe the next 2 videos will be about. There you go, Zach. Zach Attack. Zach Attack and, Mr. Oh, God, he is just a mess. Mr. Kill Him Off. There we go. Okay, I got to clean Kill Him off. I got to clean Kill Him off. Last couple we'll do. I love this Robin. I can't help it. I just love him. I love him. Great. And who'd'll he do next? Let's see. I'm looking for somebody. Oh, here, I'll compare it to the Clutch to the. Let me get him situated here. I'll compare Clutch to the Tactician from the Hiss Tank. There you go. They did say the Tactician and the driver and such were going to be a little bit taller, but they're not that much taller from Clutch. Which, it's fine. I'm just pointing it out. Not really complaining about it. And then we'll do one last one. We'll do Fei Long. There you go. Oh, what the hell. We'll do my custom Mythic Legions so you can see how big they are next to Mythic Legions. There you go. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. And then we'll go, there we go. Scoot him over there. Oh, God. Everyone's falling over now. All right. There we go. And there we go. We'll set him over there. And, yeah. So you guys have any other questions? Questions, comments, concerns? About the set or anything? Like I said, don't get too disheartened that it's sold out. I got a feeling they're going to have this stuff back in stock. I don't know anything. I'm not giving you any sort of inside scoop. I'm just giving you my thoughts from what I've seen in the past with the Trouble Bubble selling out, and people got upset about that. And then it was back in stock. This stuff will be back in stock. I would not worry about it whatsoever. Try and get Mr. So don't get too upset when the stuff says sold out. It'll be back. But I think this is a solid set. Like I said, I would. Clutch is really well done. I think everything that he comes with makes sense. The only thing I would change on him would have been maybe a submachine gun instead of a shotgun. But like I said, that's nitpicky and that's subjective. The points that I made about adding a couple of things for like weapon storage, I think that would make sense as far as improving it. Maybe they could do that in the future. Who knows? I doubt they watch my videos, but I do like everything else. Maybe if I could add one more thing, it would be to secure the ammo canisters and the oil, or not the oil, the gas canisters to the back a little bit better instead of them just kind of floating around, jiggling, and these kind of flopping around. So there's that. to point out. But a lot of the features, like the suspension feature, feels really cool. That's going to be really cool for displays and taking photos and such. I think that's going to be really nice as far as being able to see the tires kind of going up and down like an independent suspension, which is really nice. And the fact that Clutch comes with some tools and stuff like that, an axe and fun little things that you can pretend or use your imagination. You could be working on the, I don't know, let's pop the hood open right here. You could be working on the hood or working on the engine. Maybe I'll try and maybe I'll get a little piece of cloth, because most people that work on engines, and I used to, will drape a piece of cloth over here, so while you're kind of leaning over, you don't scratch the paint or anything like that. You could go with that if you wanted to, kind of have him like leaning over this. Now, it is a little bit of a higher lean, so you really have to have him kind of getting in there and wrenching hard, but you can make it work, That's just 2 seconds of posing right there. So doesn't look the best, but or you can have him underneath it with his friggin' body hanging out. But this is just fun stuff. I love this stuff. It's underneath there, and there is clearance. There's pretty good clearance for him hanging out underneath this. It's like, Clutch, what are you doing under there? Hey guys, you seeing Clutch? Oh shit! Like maybe I'll try and find him. Maybe if someone's 3D printed one of those rollers, I can get him in a roller underneath the vehicle. That'd be pretty funny, pretty cool. So, but yeah, do you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns about the Vamp? Need to see anything else as far as features go or anything like that? Let me know. That's why I'm here. Something I maybe did not show that you would like to see. The tire treads look pretty cool. Like I said, they're not directional or anything like that. You don't have to worry about them being on a certain side, a certain way, or anything like that. You could just kind of have them popped on any which way you want. So, I'm trying to see if I can seat him kind of. Yeah, I'll just seat him on the back here. Just kind of hanging out. I'll get a rag in his hand. He can clean his tools. Let's get Grunt out of there if I can do this without knocking shit over. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. He's hanging out with Grunt. They're kind of shooting the shit, having a beer, hanging out, talking about the next mission. Well, he's emoting. Well, Clutch. He's over here like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's fix that. There we go. There you go. So, give me some feedback to those of you that are live or still here, if you guys want to. What do you guys think about this set? Personally, I like it. I'm happy with spending. I'm perfectly fine and comfortable and happy with spending the $100 that I did spend on it each. Like I said, I did get 2. And I would go ahead and I would give this not 1, but 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I would say definitely check it out. Definitely go pick it up. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think this is definitely going to have re-releases, and it's definitely going to come back in stock. So if you missed out on the first run of it, don't worry, man. It'll just, patience. It'll come back. There's stuff that I've missed out on in the past, like I passed on the Dragonfly. I'm sure I'll get a second shot at it. I'll eventually get one. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape over missing out on a toy. So, but yeah, cool stuff. I really do like this set quite a bit. The packaging and everything it came in looks really good. I'm sure you guys have seen that all over the internet. People posting the packaging like 5-6 days ago. The inbox stuff just before we started getting shipping notifications, and which is pretty cool. So now maybe that's a pattern. That would be cool if that was like the legit pattern. If we got the in hand inbox leaked photos, and then like 3 or 4 days later we get our shipping notifications, that'd be amazing. So, but anyway, I digress. Let me just see if the chat has any more questions about anything. Like I said, don't hesitate to ask. But yeah, that might do it then. Cool. I guess yeah, that there's nothing really else left to say. Solid vehicle. Very good vehicle. I'm really looking forward to, this year is going to be like the year of the vehicle, I feel like, especially for G.I. Joe Valaverse. They're giving us vehicles. You're going to get the Dragonfly later this year. We're getting the Vanguard this year. I'm trying to think what other vehicles we're getting. Are we getting the 4-wheeler? Are we getting let's see. I'm trying to think what other vehicles we're getting. I know we're getting something else. We're getting like the reissued like Ram Cycle again for like the third time, which I'm probably going to pass on that, to be honest with you. But here, who else can we bring in here to hang out? Oh, here's another vehicle driver. I'm just using this a little custom of I'm not sure why he's holding on to a gun, but a little custom of not really a custom, but kind of a kit bash of what you call it. Oh my god, I can't think of anything. Oh my god. Anyway, I digress. My brain's not working. I must be dehydrated or something. Here, we'll make it a party. Here's Parth Marma. Everybody's hanging out. We're all hanging out. And why not? We'll bring in Airborne back in here. There we go. Now it's a real party. Airborne's here. Now it's a party. But yeah, I like this quite a bit. Let me know if you guys are watching this on playback, what you guys think in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. 2 thumbs up, full recommendation. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this, regardless of even if you do have a lot of nitpicks about it. I think getting a vehicle in 1/12 scale is really nice to be able to say that you can get that now. If you don't have the space, it's a vehicle that rolls. So don't feel too bad about it. If you have the budget and you do end up getting this, I think you'll be pretty happy. I don't think you'll be sad about it, regretful, or anything like that. But I think you'll be happy about it. So either way, that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like. And Choom89, yeah, I agree. It is quite nice. Be sure to hit the like button. It's free to do. It takes 1 second. Helps the channel tremendously. So if you could do that, that'd be great. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Like I said, I'll be popping up that Mega Man review in next day or two. And then it'll be another... Do I want to do a live review with that? I might do an edited review with the thing. But actually, the next live video I have to do is the 5,000 subscriber giveaway, which I haven't forgot. Don't worry. I might be getting older, but I'm not that old. So I am going to do that. So that'll be the next live stream, as far as like a couple hour live stream, which I usually do. Maybe I'll do the live review with the next thing, after Mega Man. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do a live review and then do the subscriber giveaway after that. So, but I need a lot of people to stay tuned or tune in to the subscriber giveaway. So I might try and hype it up for like a week to try and get people involved, because what I want to do for the subscriber giveaway is specific. I want to get people in the stream so I can pick the winner there, and it can be live and everyone's excited about getting free stuff and stuff like that. So anyway, I digress. Hope you guys enjoyed the video review, and thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Terry, thank you for modding as always. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you to Jeff for popping in. Appreciate it. Mr. Dog, Kiwi, G.I. Joe Customs and Collection. Thank you to Chad N. And thank you to Choom. I think it's Choom. Choom89 for popping in. I appreciate that. And thank you for the nice comment. You're welcome, Chad. And hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to get going on this Mega Man review. And yeah, I will see you guys on the flip side.